Being a dairy-free household, we wanted to see if we could make a budget fish pate to get the goodness of fish in a nice convenient form for lunches and that type of thing. Fish like tinned pilchards are really affordable, so that was a good place to start, but we didn't want to end up throwing away the bones and waste from the tin like we usually do when we eat them plain. We wondered if we could use our smoothie blender with a couple of other store cupboard ingredients to make a smooth fish pate using everything in a tin of pilchards and throwing nothing away. This is how we got on. Our 3 ingredients are coconut oil. You'll need the refined odourless type rather than the extra virgin type, unless you want your pate to have a hint of coconut flavour to it. Mayonnaise, any that you usually use should work. This is just to add a creaminess without any dairy. And the star of the show, this is a small 155-gram can of pilchards in tomato sauce. You'll need a blender for this. I would imagine even a stick blender would work okay, but this is a smoothie type. To your jug, add everything from the tin of pilchards. It didn't look very appetising at this point. Make sure to include all the sauce and bones. A couple of spoons of mayo. It worked out at about 1 part mayo to 2 parts pilchards. And your melted coconut oil. This was around a tablespoon when it was still solid. We used about 3/4 of it to start with and found that produced a nice consistency. Now it's time to blend. Give it a few pulses. Keep alternating blending and shaking the jug to keep everything moving around in there until you get a smooth mixture and everything is fully blended. Check your consistency now and have a taste. If it's smooth and you're happy with the flavour, you're done. Add any seasonings you might like to incorporate here. The pate mixture at this point was obviously quite liquid, but so smooth, and we really liked the flavour. It tasted exactly like the pilchards in tomato sauce, but in a smooth form, which is what we were hoping for. There was no hint of graininess from the bones or anything remotely unpleasant or odd about the texture. It worked! We tend to keep a lot of jam jars and things and wash them up for food storage, so we just poured our pate into this. It worked out at 1 whole jar. Pop the lid on and then to the fridge. After a night in the fridge, it was nice and firm. Time for a proper taste test. The pate was firm, but really spreadable and so smooth and silky without being greasy at all. You can spread it nice and thick for on crackers and sandwiches, but the texture of it means you could use it as a dip as well, and probably lots more uses that we haven't even thought of. We were so pleased with how this experimental recipe turned out, especially the budget nature of it and how few ingredients it took to make something really pleasant and enjoyable to eat without wasting any part of the products used. We hope that if you decide to make our store cupboard pate, you enjoy it as much as we did.